Can't believe I made that mistake again. Happy hump day. Welcome to Quarantine with Styles, aka Driving with Styles. Happy hump day. Hope everybody's having a good day. I know I'm having a good day. Once your feet hit the ground, everything else after that is gravy. I appreciate you guys joining. Appreciate you guys listening. Oh, well, before I forget, this is not just a hump day. This is Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. I said Bobby Bonilla Day. Man, it is great to be Bobby Bonilla, man. It's every July 1st. It's a great day for my man. Over $1 million until 2035. It started kicking 10 years after his last game in MLB. 10 years after, the man is collecting over $1 million for another 15 years. Man, whoever's his agent, I need to get with him because that is insane. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. I guess I can't say that today for some reason. Happy payday for my man because that is incredible. So, again, you can join the show by clicking on the Zoom link. And then if you click on the Zoom link, you are joining live. This is not just to be a fly on the wall. You are actually a part of the show. So if you click on that link, you become a part of the show. You can email me at drivingwithstyles@gmail.com, or you can tweet me at @vstyles17. Now we're going to get into some stuff today that I saw on Twitter. So this is going to be a Twitter day. And the first thing I'm going to get in, look out for my video of the day. It's a very special one for BBN. But let me get into this. First, I'm going to get into this tweet was made available by PFF on Twitter. I think it was last week. I'll pull it up. The best college quarterback of the decade. Very good question. I'm gonna pull this picture up quite a bit so the people who are looking and they come on late, they will understand what I'm talking about. So the 4 quarterbacks that you could select from was Cam when he played in Auburn, Johnny Manziel when he was at A&M, Mariota when he was at Oregon, and Joe Burrow obviously this year. And sometimes we get overtaken by the moment with some of this, but for me, the top guy was Cam, with Mariota being very, very close. Now, the reason why I picked Cam is if you remember that team, you have to remember that Auburn team. If you take Cam off that team would have trouble winning 6 games. That's how much of an impact Cam was on that team. Cam and Joe was the only 2 quarterbacks that went undefeated. Johnny lost 2 games in that year, and Johnny Manziel's key to him was beating Alabama. They lost 2, then the next year they lost 4. Mariota lost 2 games. I think he lost 1 game his first year as a full-time starter and 2 the next 2 years. 2 in both of those years. And Burrow had a better year. Undoubtedly. He had the best year of all the 4. To put up 5,000 plus yards, the amount of touchdowns, the interception, the touchdown and interception rate, all that good stuff. However, when you talk about Burrow, you cannot forget whom he had at his disposal. He had a first-round running back, Hilaire. He had a receiver in Jordan Jefferson. first round pick. If Moss didn't have the foot issue at the combine, he's probably a second or third round pick at tight end. Then he got Chase, who's gonna be a first round draft pick when he comes out. So he's on that team. He would probably come out with 3 first round picks that he was distributing the ball to. Now, that doesn't disrespect him or give any excuse or pause. The kid had a great year, but he had some amazing talent around him. Amazing. Now, we go to the other guys. Like Johnny Football, I don't know if you remember that team. I was a big fan of Ryan Swoop. Ryan was, knowing me, if you don't know me, I'm a big track guy. And Ryan was a very good 100-meter runner. He was 10.6, 10.7, one of those 100 meters. So the kid was fast. And I think Ryan was about 6'2". It could move. And he had Mike Evans. And we have seen what Mike Evans has done on the next level. Now, Johnny didn't have he didn't have a great running back, but he was the running back. He was the running back. And in that RPO system, it really gives the quarterback a chance to succeed in the run game if he has the skill set that Johnny Football had. But Johnny Football had one bona fide superstar, and Ryan Swoop was a really good receiver. Okay? Now we get to the guys that I have as 1 and 1A. Can anybody, you can tweet me. I have it up here, over here, ready for it. If you want to tweet me, email me, whom was the receivers that Mariota had at his disposal? Josh Huff was a decent receiver, but he was not a Mike Evans. Anthony Thomas was an unbelievable speed demon athlete, but he was not a receiver. And really not a running back. He had speed. He was a Tavon Austin for Oregon. So Mariota had a little bit at his disposal. Not on the level of Joe Burrow, and not on the level in a step down. Joe Burrow had the most talent. Step down would come down to Johnny Manziel, and Mariota didn't have the talent level at his disposal of either one of those. But Josh Huff was a good receiver. He was solid. Very solid. Now look at that Cam team. Look at the Cam. I had to look up because those other guys I remember. I remember Mike Evans. I remember Josh Huff. I remember those guys because Josh Huff had a decent NFL career. Not great, but I can't remember who he went to. Was it the Eagles? I'm not sure. But he had a decent, maybe stayed in the league a couple years, whatever. But at least I know of Josh Huff. Now, I had to look up Cam's guys. Now, I knew he had Micah Dyer. Micah Dyer was a bona fide great running back who couldn't get out his own way with the trouble. Micah Dyer would have been an NFL running back. Now, remember, Micah Dyer was a freshman, though, Cam's year at Auburn. He was a freshman. So, do you really expect a lot from a freshman? Yeah. But he gave them a lot. And he gave them a lot because he was a really good talent. And he proved that he was a good talent because I think the next year, he actually had a better year than he had with Cam. Then he got into his problems. He transferred. And I think he ended up at Louisville. Pretty sure of that. But Cam's top 2 receivers was Terrell Zachary and Darvin Adams. Now, unless you are a Auburn fan on the plains, do anybody recall those 2 names? Anyone? And I'm a football junkie, and I had no idea. I had to look it up. Like I say, I knew Michael Dyer was his running back, but I could not fathom whom he was throwing to. And if you remember correctly, those games were tight. It wasn't like they were dominating teams year in, year out. I mean, from the start to finish. They almost lost to Kentucky at Kentucky. They almost lost. I think there was like one-score games in 5 or 6 of their games. The person who pulled those games out was Cam. The talent level on that team was not, honestly, championship level. They had a really good defense, though. They had a great defense, and they had Cam. And when they played Mariota, and Mariota had a chance to beat them too, when they played Mariota, that defensive front manhandled Oregon's offensive line, and that's how they won. But without Cam, they do not go undefeated at all. No chance. Like I said, I would be shocked if they went to a bowl game. Again, people, I'm gonna show this. I'm talking about this tweet from PFF College, and they said the best college quarterbacks of the decade. I went through whom I had. I would have Johnny Manziel 4, Burrow 3, Mariota 2, Cam 1. And like I said earlier, I went down my list. If you joined late, Burrow just had tons of talent. Johnny Manziel had Mike Evans, but he lost 2 games. He lost 4 games the next year. Mariota didn't have as much talent as the other 2, but he had a little bit more than Cam, and Cam had a freshman. That was his next best player. So I know a lot of people don't agree with Cam. Everybody comes up with the laptop. Everybody comes up with his dad trying to get money. I don't care what you say. We judge the play on the field. Cam was that dude. Period. There is nothing else you can say about Cam. When he gets between those lines, Cam is that dude. Cam, in his years at Auburn, was amazing. He made Gene Chizik a lot of money. And how long did Gene stay in the profession after Cam left? Great defensive coordinator, but the head coaching thing kind of smacked him right there in the mouth once he lost a transcendent quarterback. Like I say, it's Cam. I like Joe Burrow. He had a great season, but he wasn't a quarterback of the decade. Which leads me to this play. I saw this play yesterday. Don't know when it was posted. It was posted by SEC Football. And I'm going to just show it, and I'll talk through it as it's playing. Now, this is 3rd and 17 against Texas. Texas has a chance to win this game. 3rd and 17. The defense gets one of the best offense last year into a situation. They won on first down, they won on second down, and they come 3rd and 17. Extra long. Why would you blitz one of the most talented offenses in the country? Why would you blitz them? And it wasn't just like I say, it's something to have a blitz. I understand you want to put a little pressure on it, but you can run blitzes. You can run a cover 2 with man-to-man underneath, so at least you got 2 deep safeties. You can play a man free and maybe play a robber because you think they're gonna run something across a crossing route. But you don't go full out blitz. And if you watch this play, I let it play out. The worst part about it is not only they're playing man-to-man, watch how deep they are in coverage. They're like 10 yards deep. So there's no disruption of the route at the snap. So these guys are running full speed at you for 10 yards, and then you are expected to cover them. Now the blitz didn't get there, which allowed Joe to step up. Now that's an extra tick that shouldn't happen. But why would you blitz? Why would you blitz on 3rd and 17? Like I said, you can play man free. You want to blitz, keep a safety deep, and maybe play him as a robber. I'll play cover 2 with man under. Why not just play quarters? If you want to play quarters. Play cover 4. Play cover 4. I would have played probably cover 4 or a read, whereas cover 2, since I think they snapped in the middle of the field, so you couldn't really. But you can play cover 2 up at the top of the screen and play quarters into the field. There's so many ways, but you gotta disrupt the receivers off the ball. You cannot let those guys free release with the talent that they have. And watch the route. They just run slants. It's an all slant in the middle. Or all dig. Watch. Jordan runs a dig slant. The other guy runs a slant. The outside guys clear out with out route. Look at that. It's not like some elaborate route combination. It's very simple. But you do not blitz a veteran quarterback. He doesn't even vet on 3rd and 17. And then you're going to blitz him and not press cover. That is inexcusable. That is inexcusable. That's not to say Texas would have ended up winning the game. But come on, man. I should have had my CC. Come on, man. Seriously? 37-31. 2 minutes left. You have a pretty good quarterback in Ehlinger who you can get the ball back to. But you decide to run all-out blitz. Even if you look at that safety, he came down. Why didn't he come down and just play robber? Look at the quarterback eyes. Let me play it again. So why did this safety rob and stay back? Look at his eyes, steal the ball. They could at least done that. Left that safety in the middle of the field. Why would you blitz? 3rd and 17. You could have dropped your linebackers to 15 yards and rush 3 or 4, whatever you want. Cover the majority of the underneath zones. Play nickel or dime. Get your 2 DBs in there and dime, or you get 1 if you got a good linebacker. I would get 2. Play dime. Play with 6 DBs. And force them to throw the ball underneath. Force them to throw the ball underneath. Don't get it. That didn't make any sense to me. So that was my Joe Burrow one. Now we're going to get. What else I have? Now we're going to get into some NBA talk. This is going to get interesting. This bubble deal in Florida is going to be interesting. Now, I honestly think that they can pull it off because it's basketball. I really do. Now, the problem is, I think they got enamored by, not enamored, they wanted to have Zion have a chance to play some more games. That's what I'm going to take it as. Zion and Ja to play some games, some young boys to get some more airtime. The problem is they brought probably more teams than they really need to bring. Honestly, this is a different time. They should have just brought the 4 top teams. They should have brought 8 teams tops and just let them play it out. I know these teams would have been upset because I could have, 8 seed, a 6 seed could have beat a 3. But this is not the time to do it. And now you got these guys coming positive. Now these guys are thinking beyond just basketball. They're thinking about their families. They think about the time away from their families. Now, if you went 18, you wouldn't be away from them for 3 months. Now, even to me, even the fact that they can actually bring that family in after the second round, during the second round, it's still an issue. Because are you willing to bring your family in to that bubble and potentially have them catch it too? If they're at home and they're fine and they haven't been infected, why would you risk them coming there, especially the way Florida's going? Why would you allow them to come to Florida? So now you're gonna be away from your family for a long time. Now I understand you got FaceTime. I understand you got abilities to stay in contact with your family. However, you still have to go back home after the game is over. You're putting a lot on these guys. Now I understand from an athlete standpoint with the CBA coming up and not potentially having the owners change the cap, change the max salary, change a mid-level salary, etc., etc. I totally get it. I really understand that. No gripes. But some of these guys are going to do what's best for their family and not best for the league, especially when the league has said they're not going to lose their job. Now, it's going to be tough for these owners for like the DeAndre Jordans, the guy for the Lakers, can't think of his name, but Avery Bradley. Some of these other guys who have come to them with it will. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these other players because they're about to go. I think they have to get there next week, Tuesday or something like that. Then they're going to get tested. And what's going to happen with those players who get tested? When they get there, and let's say they come out positive, are they going to be willing to stay? Or are they going to be willing to stay for the 14 days, quarantine themselves, and then go back home? I don't know. It's really a weird situation. Now, with the football deal, it's going to be even tougher because you got that many more people, and you cannot quarantine a football team. It's just impossible. That's impossible. You got 53 players per team, same amount of teams, and you cannot take that many people to Disney, ESPN World, and host all those players. You know how much money it's going to cost each team to create a bubble for a football team? I think it's 150. The NBA said they're going to lose 150 million. It's going to be triple that for the NFL. Just going to be. That's just how it is. Too many players, a lot more staff, a lot more coaches, equipment managers, trainers, etc. It's a lot more that comes with a football team than basketball. Gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna do this. So I saw this tweet, and it's from one of the sports affiliated sites, and it bothered me a little bit. And I'm gonna read what it said, and I wrote it down. It says, "I've seen a lot of quote open quote, if you want football, wear a mask, close quote, posts from various media accounts on here. I won't ever post things like that. This account is for news, entertainment, and stats. It isn't our job to lecture adults on their personal life." That's interesting from an individual who wants football to come back. You're not lecturing anyone to say, please wear your mask. That's news. That's news. Wear your mask, greater chance of us getting football back, which is entertainment. So are you lecturing just to tell people just please wear a mask so we can get football back? That's not a lecture, that's a statement. And I think if you have that platform and you are itching for sports to come back and complaining about sports to come back, etc., make the statement. Now, if you don't believe it, that's one other thing. If you believe this pandemic isn't real and you don't believe in the wearing of the mask, another story. But if you believe it and not using your platform, okay, how many followers you have to promote wearing masks so we can get sports back, a little iffy for me with the platform that you have. I don't even have that many followers. I'm not even at 1,000. But I know this, if you wear a mask, and it's been proven in other countries, you wear a mask. Social distance. More important, just wear a mask. We could be on the other end of this thing if we would have done that earlier. We could be like New Zealand. We are the greatest country in the world. Why can't we do better than what they did? And now they are case-free, having sporting events with crowds. Seems simple to me. All right, guys. Let's get into my video today, which BBN is going to love. That is our starting quarterback, Terry Wilson. 12-3 as a starter, coming off a gruesome knee injury. And right now I think someone, I don't know if it was AJ Rose, tweeted he was at 20-some miles an hour. That's impressive, man. It's July. And he's running straight line like that. Now, I want to see him, like I tweeted out today, I want to see him do that cutback at that rate like he did in Florida and ran for that touchdown in 2018 in the Swamp. I see him do that, man. I'm already on cloud 9. I would probably burst if I saw him do that anytime soon. Because if he does that, I'm telling you, if we have football, it's going to be a special season. And somebody today made a statement that I've said a long time ago. Spring football. If you can't have it now, you have spring football. The problem is you're going to have guys get hurt and normally have an off season to get better. That won't be possible. So my suggestion is, if that's not possible, have a special red shirt year for guys who have season-ending surgery. I personally think it's that simple. But if we're able to have it in the fall, let's have it in the fall. I ain't got no problem. They give me something to talk about, give me some film to break down so we can start watching with Styles again. But if not, I have no problem moving into the spring. All right, guys, that's my 30 minutes. Appreciate you guys watching, taking time out of your day to come and listen to me. You guys have a great night, and I will see you on Friday.
Wait.